Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh is home to more than 1 million Rohingya refugees who fled persecution in Myanmar's western Rakhine state. But now it appears that thousands of Rohingya refugees have been recruited by militant groups, and some are heading back across the border into Myanmar. Among them was a man who calls himself Rafiq. His face is obscured to protect his identity.
A lot of us gathered on the other side of the river. We went to fight. We fought for God, not to show off to anyone. We were leading a peaceful life here, living on refugee rations. Still, we went over because we believe we have rights in our own country. We have a right to live in Rakhine.
The Rohingya are a mainly Muslim group that is the world's largest stateless population. They began fleeing Myanmar in 2016 to escape what the United Nations calls a genocide at the hands of Buddhist-majority Myanmar's military. Following a military coup in 2021, a long-running rebellion involving a complex array of armed groups has gained ground. Now it appears Rohingya fighters have entered the fray. What is unusual is that many have joined groups that are not fighting against Myanmar's military. Instead, they are loosely allied with their former military persecutors. That's because the Rohingya groups are fighting against the Arakan Army ethnic militia, which is backed by the majority Buddhist ethnic Rakhine community. Reuters reported this year that the Arakan Army was responsible for burning down one of the largest remaining Rohingya settlements in Myanmar. Reuters also reported that one of the largest Rohingya militant groups, the Rohingya Solidarity Organization, had reached a, quote, battlefield understanding to fight alongside the Myanmar military. It's what could be described as a case of my enemy's enemy is my friend. Abu Afna is one former fighter. He says he traveled by boat from near the camps in Bangladesh to the western Myanmar town of Mongdao, where the Arakan army was fighting Myanmar's military for control. There, he says, he was housed and armed by junta troops. His voice has been distorted to protect his identity.
When I was fighting alongside the junta army, I felt these were the same people who raped and killed our mothers and sisters. And the people I was fighting against were the reason our nation was ruined completely. Our main enemy was not the Myanmar government, but the Rakhine community.
Afna says one of the incentives for joining up was that the junta was offering citizenship. But, he says, his commander kept promising citizenship cards, but they never came. Bangladesh's government did not respond to questions, while the junta denied in a statement that it had conscripted any Muslims. It said Muslim residents had requested protection and that it had provided basic military training to help them defend their villages and regions. Reuters interviewed 18 people who described the rise of insurgent groups inside Bangladesh's refugee camps and reviewed 2 internal briefings on the security situation written by aid agencies in recent months. The news agency is reporting for the first time the scale of recruitment by Rohingya armed groups in the camps, which totals between 3,000 and 5,000 fighters. One security source said the emergence of trained Rohingya fighters and weapons in and around the camps is something Bangladesh regards as a ticking time bomb. Some 30,000 children are born each year into deep poverty in the camps, where violence is rife. That's raised concerns that disillusioned refugees could be drawn by non-state actors into militant activities and criminal enterprises.